Very good morning, friends. So, I hope you're all safe and healthy. So, I've been talking in the previous videos about the mandatory exceptions which are given in the Appendix B to Index 101. And in one of the videos, we were talking in terms of estimates. Then we went ahead and we were talking in terms of a very vital element, and that is NCI. Today, in this video, I'm going to talk in terms of government loans. Now we know that as concessional loans by the government is concerned, there is a total different viewpoint which is given in India's. As per India's 20, which talks about the government grants, when a company receives a government loan which is at a concession rate, we split the loan proceeds in terms of the loan value which is taken on the basis of fair value, and the excess is treated as a government grant under India's 20. But the previous gap, which is the accounting standard 12, had no guidance in terms of these things. We never used to segregate the amount of concession loans and split that in terms of a government grant and the loan amount. So the question what comes to the mind is that once you're making the opening India's balance sheet on the date of transition, in those particular cases, what do we do with the government loans which might be concession loans? How do you treat them in the opening India's balance sheet? What is the status in terms of the classification? What is the status in terms of measurements and any subsequent accounting? Let's find this out in detail in this video. एग्जामिनेशंस क्लोज हैं दिसंबर के अंदर और मेरे ख्याल आपकी प्रिपरेशन अच्छी स्ट्रॉन्ग चल रही होगी और अब ज़रूरत है कि आप अपनी प्रिपरेशन को थोड़ा सा टेस्ट करें और इसके लिए अनअकैडमी पर आपके लिए आ रहा है ऑल इंडिया मॉक टेस्ट। सी इंटरमीडिएट के जो बच्चे दिसंबर के लिए अपनी तैयारी कर रहे हैं उनके लिए बोथ सब्जेक्टिव और एमसीक्यू लेवल्स पर टेस्ट कंडक्ट किए जा रहे हैं। 15 नवंबर आपके स्टार्टिंग डेट है फॉर ऑल द सब्जेक्टिव टेस्ट ऑफ डिफरेंट पेपर्स, जिसको आप लाइव और नॉन लाइव मोड दोनों के अंदर दे सकते हैं। मॉर्निंग में 10 AM to 1 PM आपके ये टेस्ट कंडक्ट होंगे। जो आपके एमसीक्यू बेस्ड क्वेश्चंस हैं इनके टेस्ट 14 नवंबर से शुरू हो गए हैं और ये आप रात को 8 PM to 9:30 PM दे सकते हैं। इनके लिए आपने कोई पेमेंट नहीं करनी है। आपने इसके अंदर ये टेस्ट सीरीज कंप्लीटली फ्री अवेल कर सकते हैं। डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स के अंदर आपको एक लिंक मिलेगा जिसके लिए आप इन टेस्ट के लिए अपने आप को एनरोल कर सकते हैं और वक्त है कि आप अपनी प्रिपरेशन को टेस्ट कर लें ताकि कहीं कोई नीड हो तो आप इसके अंदर उस पर इम्प्रूवमेंट्स कर सकते हैं। जैसे ही आप ये टेस्ट दे देंगे तो आपको इनके सॉल्यूशंस भी आपको शेयर मिलेंगे, तो आप इसे अपने फ्यूचर रेफरेंस के लिए इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं। तो करना कुछ नहीं है, डाउनलोड कीजिए ऐप, एनरोल कीजिए एंड लेट्स क्रैक इट। Well, as I said, in relation to the government grant, what comes to the mind is a total of three things. One is, you can say, the concept of classification of these loans in the opening India's balance sheet. Now we know that as per India's, when you are taking a government loan, it is to be classified either as a financial liability or as an equity instrument, which is decided as per India's 32. So these loans which were shown in the previous gap balance sheet, maybe under a different head, needs to be reclassified and reflected as a financial liability or equity instruments, applying the principles of India's 32. That's one. Second, when we're looking in terms of these government loans, India's 101 in the Appendix B gives us a complete optional exemption that you could treat, the government loans on a prospective basis. That means there is no need for the concession loans which were carried forward from the previous gap on the date of transition to be split into two components. One is in terms of the financial liability, the loan at a fair value, and the government grant. You would carry the figure as it is. That means whatever figure is in the previous gap, that is going to be carried forward as it is. But the subsequent accounting would definitely undergo a change, which means for the purpose of subsequent accounting, you would need to calculate an EIR. As we know that this government loan will be categorized as, you can say, a financial liability, which is to be measured at amortized cost. So we'll have to basically calculate an EIR. and on the basis of the EIR, the subsequent accounting from the date of transition will be done. Which means, in short, there are a total of three aspects which need to be taken care in terms of a government loan. Reclassification, showing it as an FL or equity instrument. Number two, measurements would continue to be the same. There is no need to make any remeasurements. But from the date of transition, number three, you need to calculate an EIR and do the subsequent accounting on the basis of the EIR computed on the date of transition. So this is more or less in terms of the three main, you can say, the adjustments, or we can say the exceptions we are talking. Now coming forward in the next video, I'm going to discuss with you the Appendix C, that is related to the optional exemptions related to business combinations, followed by the Appendix D. That's all in this particular video. Thank you for watching. Take care and goodbye.